What is going on, Ranger fans and hockey fans? Welcome to another edition of 407 Rangers. It is your boy Raymond Tapia. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Turn on your notifications when I'm about to go live, upload highlights, or go on a stream or things like that. I will be uploading highlights shortly. I've just been all over the place, and as you can see, your boy got a haircut because this team isn't gonna stop me from, maintaining myself because they were trying. They damn near was making me let myself go, and I wasn't having that. But we're here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we and remember they said this team was fragile, but instead they chose to scoop to a lower level. They chose to do that. Now, like I said, guys, it ain't gonna get any better. You know what I'm saying? Right now, this is what we stuck with. So, I don't know what more I can tell you other than, Noah Laba at least almost got himself a hattie, and Lafrenière had 2 goals. So good for them. Good for them. Just good for them. So it was predictable. Like I said, it was predictable. The only thing I'm happy about is Gabe Perreault almost scoring a hat trick, and at least Lafrenière played with a little life. But like I said, it was inevitable, like 100%. No other way around it. You know what I mean? And things like that. So, what more can I tell you guys? What did I say? It's going to continue. Now, I'm happy that the fire drury chants were louder because this is the only way you're gonna send a message. The only way, because there's no other way. You're going to have to keep yelling and screaming that until James Dolan surrenders and actually freaking fires Chris Drury. Because it's not going to stop. It's going to continue. And you can't trust Drury with the trade deadline either. You see how he constructs the roster. Now, if I'm Mike Sullivan, if your top line guys aren't going to perform, just put them in the fourth line or fucking third. Let the younger guys get on the top six at this point because I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what more it's going to take, ladies and gentlemen, because they're not going to change anything. You saw what they did. They said, we're fragile, so they retaliated with, we're going to just scoop to a lower level and show you that we can be more than fragile. So, this is who they are. This is simply who they are. And of course, Tim Stützle got himself a goal. Brady Tkachuk, Drake Batherson, Sanderson as well. Like they were all doing their thing tonight. They all had fun. They scored 8 fucking goals, just toying with these guys. Absolutely toying the Rangers. Yeah, Drake Batherson, Nick Cozens had two assists. Dylan Cozens had 3 points, had himself a goal and 2 assists. Greig had 3 assists. Perron had himself a goal and an assist. Tim Stützle, of course. Brady Tkachuk had 3 assists and a goal. Having a fucking field day with these guys. And then Tim Chabot had himself a goal as well. Jake Sanderson, 3 defenders. Ends up had an assist. Like, like I said, the Senators were fucking playing baby food with the Rangers. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, as far as Chris Drury, he's an absolute joke of a GM. There's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. James Dolan as well, because how could you possibly be a team owner and you allow this shit to continue? How? How do you allow this to continue? And you don't say to yourself, I have to make a change. I gotta let this guy go. There's no way in hell you're going to see a Stanley Cup. Look at what he's giving you. Look what look what he's giving you. And this is the GM James Dolan has all the faith in, ladies and gentlemen. All the faith. So if you think a team owner with that mindset and that fucking, faith with the GM like that, you think he's going to go anywhere? No, he's not. The only way anything can possibly happen is if you, the fans, the people that pay for that crap, make a freaking message, put your voice out there every time you go to the Garden, because that, like I said, you gotta send a message. It's the only way it's gonna get to Dolan's head that Chris Drury is a horrible GM. I mean, what are you gonna say? It's for the he's doing it for the culture next. This is a winning culture. Your audience at Madison Square Garden for the second night in a row, by the way, chanting "Fire Drury." That's the GM you're giving all the keys to create a Stanley Cup of roster. Now, you truly think with the way it's going for this team, anybody's gonna want to come here to even give this team a chance at winning the cup? Because it first starts with the locker room. I know for a fact, Sullivan has to have lost the locker room, because we can sit here and say he's trying things like that and say he's part of the problem, but Sullivan is just a breadcrumb of the problem, just a breadcrumb of it. There's so much more other bullshit going on with this team. He's the least of the problems. He truly is. And like I said, if I'm James Dolan, I don't understand how you are okay with watching this on a nightly consistent basis now. It hasn't stopped. It's going to continue. And the crazy part is, if you guys check out Big Apple Hockey earlier, a lot of the things I said, it was literally the things they were speaking on, and looking up in internet sources and everything from certain websites where teams are basically scared to take on the Panarin deal because they don't know if they're gonna just have him for a rental. Then he goes to the free agency and then he walks, because that's the biggest thing that's going to happen. There's a huge possibility that Artemi Panarin doesn't even take the trade from Chris Drury, and he just walks out free agency, and you gained nothing out of him. Not even like dust bunnies. You gained absolutely nothing out of a guy who practically scored 100 points per season. A guy that came into the franchise and at least started making this team more fun to watch. You're gonna let him walk free like that. So, like I said, guys, you buckle up, because it's going to continue for these next couple of seasons, especially with the fact that you have unmovable contracts. The only way, Dolan's gonna have to do the impossible. He would have to approach Gary Bettman and ask him if he's willing to pay out of his own pocket, and then pay more luxury tax and then some, just to even try to bring in more players, or to be able to buy out those contracts and get those no movement clauses signed off, something, because that's the only way you're going to see different results. Because until then, Dolan is going to be stuck with this abysmal. That's why you can't take him serious right now. You can't. Look what he keeps allowing to continue. The average NHL team owner, if they saw this continuing and you give back-to-back seasons of this, you get fired immediately. Look what the Islanders did. They fired Lou, brought in Matt Duchene, and drafted Matt Schaefer, and just like that, look what he's been doing for that team. And they still got other younger pieces coming in. I would have never thought I would say this on this, but I am actually jealous of what the New York Islanders are doing right now, because they have a way, Way brighter future ahead of them than the Rangers. Way brighter. And like I said, like there's too much to even like discuss on what the Rangers have to do. Because if you can't even develop players out of your farming system, and you're just going to keep being this team that continues the tradition where you just keep bringing in big names and you fill up spots with younger guys who either drafted or, like freaking got out of a freaking draft deal or a deal from the other teams where like they already drafted this guy, but he somehow is like now in the mix. Like it's the only I don't even know. I'm just coming up with shit. I truly can't even find a solution for you guys because this is how like stuck of a situation it's going to be. And it's crazy to me till this day, as of tonight, that Chris Drury still has a job. It's mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. Now, I'll leave you guys with my final thought here because I don't even know what more I can say or talk about because there was nothing exciting rather than the Lafrenière 2 goals and the Perreault 2 goals. That's it. And JT Miller, my goodness, I really can't believe we are at this point now where we can figure out who wore number 8 the worst, Jacob Trouba or JT Miller. Like which one was a shittier captain? Because you know what? The one thing I will give Jacob Trouba, the helmet throw at the bench. At least when they were losing, he at least was being a captain at that moment right there. Because you're not a captain if you're going to keep avoiding the press. I put all my money. When I watched that press conference interview from the MSG Networks, from the post-game analyst, JT Miller's going to say another bullshit like, we got to do better. I don't know what more I can say. Like, or he's not even probably showing up to the media. How much you want to bet that he went straight to the locker room and didn't even bother approaching the microphones from the media? I can assure you, JT Miller probably didn't even bother wanting to talk to the freaking media. He probably let Mika Zibanejad pick up the slack. If that's the case, Drury needs to strip the captain patch from Miller and just give it to either Trocheck or fucking Sam Carrick. Hell, give it to Carrick because he's been doing way more for this damn team. At least he's bringing some kind of fucking spark. Give it to Carrick at this point because the JT Miller experiment is done. It's done. There's a reason why he didn't last when he first got here. There's a reason why he didn't last when he got to Tampa. And there's a reason why, despite him having 100-point seasons in Vancouver, it just did not work. There's a reason. And you know what? I'm going to sit here from here because I don't even know why this microphone's acting a little weird. Oh, there it is. It's back. But yeah, I don't know what more I can say or do. I mean, he had 2 assists. Congratulations. We're gonna need more than that from you tonight. Like we're gonna need way more because these losses aren't helping one bit. Not one single bit. They're just not. And at least, like I said, Noah Laba, he got himself a goal, so we got that. And then Perron had an assist, but other than that, Mika Zibanejad had 2 apples, which, like I said, he's been. Scott Morrow got himself an assist too, so at least there's that. But Braden fucking Schneider, he gets me so mad watching him on the ice. He really does. So, well, guys, I don't know what more I can say or do. I truly don't have any more in me, so I am gonna wrap it up because I'm gonna go ahead and try to watch the rest of the games. The Golden Knight and King game that just started. I'm gonna just go ahead and watch that. I'm gonna check out when's the next game they play. I'll try to go live probably later on tomorrow because I just don't know what more I can talk about. Oh, they play the Flyers on Saturday. They're gonna be on the road, and you know what? Just predict another loss. Just get ready for 6 in a row. And then once they reach 7, I'm just going to say, here we are. That's all I can say from this point. But as always, y'all, thank y'all for watching. I really greatly appreciate the support, as always. And I'll keep y'all posted for Saturday's game against the Flyers. Thank y'all for watching. And let's go Rangers. Fire Drury. Sell, sell, sell. And let's hope Drury is fired soon.